Tonight, the sports world grinding to a halt after a devastating injury during Monday Night Football, and now players, coaches, and millions across the world praying for a miraculous recovery for Buffalo Bills safety Damar Hamlin. Our Jory Rand joins us live with the latest details on this tragic event and new reaction from a medical expert and from across the sports world. Jory?
Yeah, David, 24-year-old Damar Hamlin nearly died on the field tonight. It seemed like a harmless play early in this Monday Night Football game, and Hamlin even stood up after the hit. But he then collapsed, and his heart stopped right there on the spot. We are awaiting official word from the hospital in Cincinnati tonight.
Hello and welcome to Point of View. We give you a place to listen, learn, and lean in. I'm your host, Sofia Mang, and on today's episode, we'll be talking about injuries in sports and how that affects the overall sports field. A few months before this incident, in September 2022, the Miami Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa left the field carried out on a stretcher after he sustained head and neck injuries from a sack during a Christmas Day game against the Cincinnati Bengals. This came just after he had been injured in a game the previous week. Injuries like this are common in football due to the rough nature of the sport, but not exclusive to it. Many professional sports have many game-induced injuries within their players throughout their active season.
For the most part, from each sport to another, there might be a predominant type of injury. Like in baseball, you might have more upper body, upper extremity injuries.
So first,
football or
if
basketball
each of you could
might
just
be
introduce yourself
lower body
individually and kind of your
extremities. You
experience
could have
with
collision
sports
injuries in
and
football,
just, like,
as
sports
opposed to
medicine in general.
another sport. Maybe like softball, you don't have as many collisions unless maybe
Hello,
the ball
my name is
or
Charles
something
Kistler.
plays
I am
along those lines.
one of the athletic trainers here at
But
Northview
as
High
far as
School.
injuries themselves, they're all unique cases.
That's Charles Kistler, Northview's high school athletic trainer, who worked with the Atlanta Falcons previously and many other collegiate teams, and is now currently a part of Emory's sports medicine staff.
Hello,
course,
I am
there's
Charles
some more
Kistler.
injuries
I
like
am one
Charles
of the
mentioned.
athletic trainers here.
There's some more that are a little more
Karen and I
prone to
work
it
for
because of
Emory,
the collision
and we're
aspect
placed
of it.
over at the high
However,
school
there's
for
a
the
lot
outreach
of
program.
overuse injuries
I got
in
into
other
sports
sports.
medicine in college. I was
But
undergrad at Georgia
there's-
Southern.
like, you can
went
get
to
a
grad
concussion
school,
in pretty
and my
much
master's
any
in
sport.
sports medicine at Georgia State
even
University.
though other people consider
and then I
the
worked
collision
with the
sports more at
Falcons
risk.
for a year.
That's Karen Kentro, who is also a Northview athletic trainer and currently works alongside Charles in the Emory Sports Medicine program, where they have been placed at Northview for the outreach program. This brings in a new question. What are the ethics of professional sports as an entertainment outlet? Sunday Night Football, the World Cup, the Natty, March Madness. All of these are familiar phrases, even to those who don't normally watch sports. For centuries, professional sports have been exploited for monetary and entertainment uses, leaving the mental and physical health of the athletes as last priority. With the rise of COVID-19, injuries in sports became even more prevalent because of the neglect of athletes' health. CNN states the NFL saw a significant jump in its injury rate during the first 4 weeks of the 2020 season when compared to past years, one study found. In Major League Baseball, the injury rate nearly doubled compared to the rate in seasons prior to COVID-19. Similar trends have been found in soccer leagues around the world, including Germany and England. But it's not like we can completely blame the industry either. Many players view their sports as the only thing that they put their passion in, and it's hard to take that away from them when they put so much of their work, time, and dedication to it.
And also sometimes that relies on the athlete themselves because they want to make that money, and their money can get cut if they get put on injured reserves. And so sometimes that is a driving force to them. And so as healthcare providers, they have to determine what is best for the athlete, and there's a lot of conversations that get brought into about that.
Yeah, and there might also be, situations where a player might not disclose, how severe, his symptoms may be because he's scared. He doesn't want to get cut. He doesn't want to miss on that possible paycheck, that opportunity to go to the league and get money. So, as like Karen was saying, as a healthcare provider, you kind of have to be able to read past that and give what the best care for that individual is and for what that injury is. Every injury, like I said, is unique and has, average on a return to play time, right? But it's very multifactorial there.
Throughout all levels of the sport, college, high school, and professional, players seem to be putting their sport and their performance over their own mental and physical health.
Also, just in general, just we have to be ready for anything. We have emergency action plans that we have for absolutely everything, from weather to medical conditions to injuries to everything. Like, we just have to be ready for anything at any given time. You never know. We don't schedule an injury. We don't know that an injury is going to happen at a specific time. And so you just have to always be ready. So then sometimes you might get pulled in one direction and an injury occurs in another, and you have to react quickly and think on your feet.
Yeah, being able to adapt on your feet is definitely a critical role of athletic training and in sports healthcare, sports medicine. I talked to a bunch of people regarding the Damar Hamlin situation, and I tell people all the time that, hey, we train for this as our EAP, our emergency action plan. We train for it, at least in the summer, maybe once or twice again throughout the years, kind of overviewing. Before the game, we always have a medical timeout, right, where you talk with the other medical professionals on the other team or your doctor and say, hey, here's what we're going to do if there's a big injury, if there's a big life-threatening emergency, right? And you go over it, but you pray it really doesn't happen, because that's something you don't want to see or be a part of, right? But that's what our training's for, and that's what we're here for, is if someone does go down, we're first on the scene.
So from all this, what can we take away? That lots of athletes view their sports as the highest priority in their life, and that's something that we can't take away. So as audience members, we should continue to support our players, make sure that they're in the best mental and physical state so that they continue to play and make the audience proud. This concludes our news flash of injuries in sports. Thank you so much for listening. For a transcript of this episode, head to the Point of View tab on our website, nhsmessenger.org, and follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at NHS Point of View for updates and new episodes. I'm your host, Sofia Mang, and this has been Point of View.